Sneaking in the side door.
Yeah,
I was just like, where's Joe?
Got a quorum.
Sorry to disappoint you, Joe.
All right, I call the meeting to order. Do we have any amendments to the previous two meetings' minutes?
Roll call.
Roll call. Oh,
Oh, yep.
sorry about that.
Chris,
Here.
Dave, Richard,
Here.
Otis, Nancy,
Here.
Tor,
Here.
Carly. We have a quorum.
Okay, do we have any amendments to the previous meeting's minutes? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the minutes from the November meeting?
I move that we approve the meeting minutes from the last two meetings.
Second.
You need a roll call or all on that one?
We have to do them individually?
No, you don't
Yeah.
really have to.
Okay.
I don't care where you sit, I don't talking to them.
Okay.
You don't have to, but
Okay.
get everyone to agree.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Do we have any amendments to the agenda for today's meeting? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve agenda.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Do we have a motion to open the public hearing for an application from Christopher Clark for a conditional use permit to allow a temporary trailer on a single-family residential district at 404 Lumber Street?
I so move.
I second.
Public hearing?
You want to do a roll call, Karen, on this one? No? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do we have any public testimony concerning the public hearing?
Mr. Chairman, there's two letters that
Yes.
were distributed separately from the packet that should be on your desks.
Okay.
And if you want those read into the record. Joe does a good job at that.
Joe can read them into the record.
There goes your Christmas present. First letter is Petersburg Planning Commission concerning the public hearing December 20th. We would like to add our support to Christopher Clark's application for conditional use permit to allow a trailer for 3 years during the construction of a single-family house at 404 Lumber Street. It is our understanding that this permit is not transferable if the land is sold to another party. Thanks, Scott Roberge and Jane Smith, 12 East Meridian Street. Another letter dated 12/20/16 to the Petersburg Borough Planning and Zoning Commission from Matt Lichtenstein and Hillary Wood. We live directly across the street from 401 Lumber Street, and we support Chris Clark's application for a conditional use permit to temporarily place a trailer there for up to 3 years solely for the purpose of providing temporary housing and/or a workshop for Chris and his family while he builds a permanent home on the lot. We understand the lot is currently zoned single-family residential, and we want it to stay that way. However, we also want to make it easier for Chris to improve the property and build his home. We really appreciate Chris's recent work on clearing the lot. Chris has already improved it substantially, even though, to our knowledge, he is still in the process of purchasing it. This fall, he told us about his plan, and we were excited to hear it. For years, a deteriorating home sat there vacant with no utilities and became the site of extensive trespassing and other problems. Abandoned vehicles and other junk decorated the yard. We want to clarify that we are supporting this with the understanding that one trailer, which is currently Chris's home, is meant to be temporary residence and/or a workshop only for this project. Despite the best intentions, stuff happens, plans sometimes fall through, and as far as we know, Chris has not yet finalized the purchase of the land. So we would like some written assurance that the permit will expire if Chris vacates the property and quits the project. That being said, we would point out that Chris has thus far followed through with his plans and quickly demolished the decrepit, dangerous old house this winter. He removed much of the debris, and we believe he will haul away the rest when the road conditions are safer. We are confident that he will make every effort to continue following through and build a home on the lot in question. So we strongly support his request with the one condition we mentioned. Thanks for your time, Matt Lichtenstein and Hillary Wood, 405 Lumber Street.
Thank you, Joe. Do we have any other public testimony? Hearing none, do we have a motion to close public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So just to qualify, if we have any follow-up questions, now would be the time to ask them, correct? Close it.
Well, if there's any other questions we have for, yes.
Okay.
Do we have any visitors' views related to the agenda items?
I'm just here, Matt Lichtenstein, I'm just here. If you have questions about my letter, I should know that.
Yes.
I'm just here if you have any questions about our letter in support of Chris or any of the comments you made at all.
Mr. Chairman, if you're going to have someone come up and testify, then you need to reopen that public hearing.
Okay.
And also, if you're going to ask questions,
Okay,
you should
yeah.
reopen the public hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, so motion to reopen public hearing?
If you want to ask questions and talk to people and gather information.
Do we,
Yeah. I don't know.
yes. Do we have a motion?
I'm so move. So we reopen the public hearing.
Seems like there's an interest, so I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just to clarify, anything that he says, we need to open the public hearing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And would this be even if it's, I'm sorry, if he's talking about the visitors' views related to the agenda item?
Things that you're going to use to substantiate your decisions.
I got a little confused here.
Anything we're going to use for decision-making purposes on the public hearing needs to be done during the public hearing.
Okay.
Right. So if you're going to use his testimony or anything that's said during that as basis of fact for your determinations, then that needs to be on the record as part of the public hearing.
Okay.
John, do you want to just talk in here? No, you want to talk in the visitors' views.
That's what I was.
We're still in
Okay, so
public
Chris
hearing.
is the guy sitting back, right?
Matt, you can go up
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
I don't have anything to add,
You know anything, Dan?
Oh,
unless you have
Okay.
a question about what I wrote. but-
Is what he said okay to be in the record, or does he have to come up and re-say it now?
It's not part of the public hearing record, no,
Okay.
But
what he said.
Okay.
I think his letter covers that, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, then, since it's already open, I do have one question for Chris, if you don't mind.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Chris, if you'll please go to the podium. Thank you.
Yeah, I just was wondering, so what was the idea with the 3-year time frame, I guess?
The 3-year, I was thinking, I was hoping to be built in 2, but things happen. So I wanted to
Okay.
give myself the extra year of inconvenience of anything because I'm building it all out of pocket.
Yeah.
You know, it just kind of seemed like the saving grace period. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Put myself in a predicament and then not be able to follow through with it. I mean, extra.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks.
Any other questions from the commission? Any other testimony from public?
I would like to add one.
Sure. State your name for the record.
Matt Lichtenstein, and I live across the street from Chris's, the property he's working on, and I just wanted to add for the record that we're really, maybe it came across in the letter, but we are actually really excited to have somebody building a home there, so I want to emphasize that like, you know, aside from any, you know, changes in plans as it stands right now, what planning and is, we're really excited to have somebody build a home there, and also, and he's already has done a bunch of work, like, I was like thrilled to see him do the work. So just wanted to throw in an extra few words of support there in case it doesn't come across as well. So
Thank you.
I guess I would have one more general question maybe for Liz. So is the permit, will it expire if it's non-transferable, I guess?
So the permit would run with the land regardless of who owns it, unless the commission puts conditions on it otherwise. And the commission has done that on other permits, like for home occupation, they've said things like, if the person sells the house, the home occupation permit expires. But you would actually have to do that specifically for that permit. It doesn't happen automatically.
Okay.
Are there any further questions?
I guess it's, I noticed in this letter with Matt, it says that he's not sure if he owns the property yet. Chris, do you mind coming up again? Sorry. I was just wondering, did you end up purchasing the property? Or
I am purchasing the property. We actually just drew up the contract, and effective January 1st is when I start making my payments to purchase it. And the contract's all good and legal. And
okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
No.
Do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Do we have any visitors' views related to agenda items? So please come up and state your name.
I am John Mergus. I'm here in support of the lease application by Steve Berry, and I'm just going to be sitting here in case you have any questions. I do have an adjacent lease to Steve's, so thank you.
Thank you. Come on up. State your name, please, for the record. Can you please state your name for the record?
Steve Berry.
Well, thank you.
And I've got the lease out there, and I'm looking to extend it for 10 years.
Okay.
Just mainly so I can get a loan on it. They don't like to loan if you only have a place for a few years. So that's the intent.
Okay. Any additional visitors' views related to agenda items? Do we have any visitors' views unrelated to agenda items? Do we have any report from staff members? Liz?
Our staff report's included with the application on Chris Clark, I believe.
Okay.
Right? Yes.
And seeing no unfinished business, let us move on to new business. Consideration of an application from Christopher Clark for a conditional use permit to allow a temporary trailer in a single-family residential district at 404 Lumber Street. We have a motion.
Discussion?
We have to have a motion to be open to discussion.
Okay, yeah, I so move. Motion for discussion? No?
I think you want to make a motion to approve.
To approve the
Acceptance?
yeah.
Okay, motion for acceptance of application.
No, you want to make a motion to approve
The
conditional use.
the conditional use
Conditional
permit
use, yeah.
is what we're doing, so a motion.
Then you go ahead with the wording, I'm not sure.
So moved.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second. I'll second.
Okay. Discussion?
I would like to, it seems like there's an interest from the neighbors to have a condition in there that it only goes to Chris. So if Chris does not become the property owner, this...
I think we've done this before repeatedly on trailers for construction, and I would state, let's try to keep pretty standard on what we do on that. One of the limitations we've had is a 3-year limitation. I think we should stick with that. And I do think it's a good idea to limit it to the conditional use permit is for Chris. And we put those two limitations on it, I think it should cover, most of the concerns. So the only other thing I can think of in there is to make sure that with a trailer on there that you're taking care of proper sanitation as far as sewer or whatever hookup that meets requirements, so we're not having creating an unsafe or unhealthy situation. So
can I make a motion to amend the motion with those three conditions you just listed?
What was that, I'm sorry, just for clarification, so there was it's going to be a 3-year permit, was one condition. The second condition related to making sure that there's water and sanitary sewer connection on the trailer?
Yeah.
Okay, and so we've got that already in there. And then the third one
was to limit it to the applicant for that permit, so that if the property is sold or he doesn't complete the purchase, that the permit's void.
expires.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think so. Did you look at the site plan that Chris submitted?
Anything specific or?
Well, I just want to make sure when we are approving this also, he's proposing that he gets his trailer there and he's got one of these little tarp buildings too. I think, what is it, 20 by, little clean, those gray things? Temporary structure, that it's okay for him to park that there. Well, he does. And I've talked to him about this already, about making sure it's within the setbacks on the side and the back.
So it would meet the setback requirement?
Yeah, well, it will.
Okay.
And so will the trailer. When we place it, but that's just, I said he's going to have the trailer, and then he's going to have that to obviously park under and probably.
And the carport's there's a temporary structure?
Yeah, it probably, if he gets a house, the trailer's going away, and then that Quonset hut will probably stay for his parking and whatnot. That can certainly stay. I mean, it's an okay thing, but just so you know that is going to be there along with the trailer also. 20 by something, 20 by 12, 20 by 14. Yeah,
Does that happen?
Not real big.
So can I add that as a fourth, that's okay? in my
Actually,
motion, since it has
Does that even have to be part of the permit?
It's actually in there
It's in there.
already in the staff report, so if you adopt the findings of the staff report and then just with the addition of what happens if the property is sold, all those things are covered already.
Okay.
Fine by me if it's there.
That might have to be an amendment though, right?
Yeah, include the staff report findings with.
We'll make a motion to accept the conditions of the staff report with the additional a condition of that the permit expires if he does not complete the purchase or sells property.
Anything else we should consider?
You guys need to make the motion. I can't make the motion.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if there's anything else we should consider before we
add that
vote on
to
it.
my amendment to the motion because it still hasn't been seconded.
Yeah, I'm just thinking through it, if there's anything else we should add to it before we vote on a motion, I guess. We don't have to come back to it, but.
Quickly read through the staff report again. I just skimmed
Yeah,
through
so
it.
They're still thinking about it.
I'll second that amendment. It was an amendment, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think we had a second, Yancy.
Yeah.
Roll call vote. Karen? Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Yancy?
Yes.
Tor.
Yes.
Okay, and if I can, just for a second. Okay, that's all great, but when you take the roll call, please make sure that they realize they are voting on the amendment. And then do the roll call for the original motion as amended. So it's two roll call votes on that, okay? Does that make sense?
That's what I was voting for. On.
Good. So because there was an original motion, and then there was an amendment to the original motion.
Had a vote on the original motion.
You did?
Yes.
No.
No. It was the amendment.
We did, that was the vote was on, this vote we just did was on the amendment.
I know that. Prior to that, we had a vote to approve the application.
We had a motion.
No.
No.
Yeah, we would have two. Gotcha. Okay. So I need to do a roll call on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tor,
Yes.
Yancy,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
and Chris.
Yes. Okay. Moving on, we have a preliminary review and recommendation on a request from Alaska Yacht and Vessel Services for a lease extension at Scow Bay. Discussion?
Need a motion.
We have motion on that. Motion to recommend a lease extension.
So moved.
A second.
Discussion?
Information I know, he just wants a 10-year lease extension so he can get a lease, so that makes sense to me.
Liz, do you know the term of the lease currently?
That's what I was kind of wondering.
5 years.
5 years. Okay. So this would be
3 years left.
Any other questions from
So then it,
What are similar, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, as I say, so did that nullify the original then and it start 10 years from today?
You're just going to be adding it to make a 10-year?
Correct.
Yeah.
And it'll end
Okay.
2029.
And similar leases in the area? What kind of time frame do they have?
Debbie Thompson, you have to go to the microphone if you're going to
I
answer
don't
that.
Honestly, I cannot answer that at this time. John, how long is your lease?
Yes, there is
Similar?
a very similar lease. Mine is 5 years.
Okay, so yes, the answer is yes.
Okay.
I was going to say, I think initially those leases were limited to shorter time spans in case development activity happened out there, but both of those leases are very consistent with future development plans for that area, so.
And I think a 10-year term is a reasonable extension. It's not like we're asking for 25 years or 50 years.
I agree.
So,
And the Harbor Board supports it, the extension.
That's good.
does that answer any
Yes.
questions? Thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call vote?
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Yancy,
Yes.
Tor,
Yes.
Okay, moving on to discussion items. I guess there's been a request for a meeting time change for the January meeting to be rescheduled to 4 p.m. due to assembly meeting and land auction. Is that all right with the rest of the commissioners present?
Either way, I'm going to be unable to be physically present for that meeting, so I can call in, but
I'll be present.
I think I'll be out of town that
Okay.
entire month.
Okay. Do you know about the status of Dave or anybody else this time?
I do not.
Okay. I thought we had when we just set the time initially,
Yes.
we had a quorum. And changing it, we're just changing it from 4:30 to 4.
Right. Because
I
of the
don't
assembly.
think that should affect that, I would hope.
Wonder if Carly can make it by 4 from the school.
She
Yeah.
gets off work at 4,
Oh.
so she might be able to cut class early. So, she fell ill at the last minute today, so. She was here during that discussion, so.
Okay, yeah. All right, so if that's okay with the rest of the commissioners who are going to be here, I think,
I
Yeah.
should be fine, yeah.
fortunately, we
So-
don't have a whole lot
Not
of
February, though.
new items stacked
Yeah.
up.
We're either.
Why not?
all right. We have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Do you want to do a roll call?
That was quick.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
short and sweet.
Good job, you guys.
We tried.
We try to get through them quick.
Must be because the Robert's Rules of Order cleaned it up and made it go so smoothly.
Yeah,